simple human sense.
I've seen a couple of cars driving past and their windshield wipers are working this morning. The Hillsdale camera has water on the roadways, so hydroplaning is a concern. And you can see just how much rain there is. It extends all the way through the lower peninsula into the upper peninsula where it switches to snow. And then that snow wraps on the back end of the system. There's so much to see when it comes to the large scale of this system. So we'll talk about it more in detail and how its lingering effects will change what we see going into the weekend. That's coming up as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
We've accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Well, in a nearly 2-hour-long speech, President Donald Trump laid out his vision for the country before a joint session of Congress. Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Wednesday, March 5th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Vaselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now at this morning's top stories. The theme in President Trump's speech last night was renewal for the American dream, and he touched on issues like immigration, national security, and the economy.
Fellow Republicans praised his speech, but opposing Democrats blasted it, one of whom now faces possible discipline after having to be removed from the chamber.
Natalie Brand has a look at how the night unfolded and the reaction.
President Donald Trump got a rousing reception from Republicans.
America is back.
From the Democrats, there was dissent. Texas Congressman Al Green was escorted away just minutes into the president's speech.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum.
During his speech, the president asked Congress for more funding of border security.
Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay.
He doubled down on cuts to the federal government.
I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Following Friday's clash, President Trump played up a new letter from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
The president also announced that one of the suspected planners behind the 2021 bombing attack that killed 13 U.S. service members outside Kabul airport in Afghanistan has been arrested. The economy was the main topic of the night. President Trump defended putting new tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, and he pledged to put reciprocal tariffs on other countries next month.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that.
Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin delivered the Democratic response.
America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way.
A CBS News poll showed that a heavily Republican audience approved of the president's speech. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
As Natalie just mentioned, first-term Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin delivered the Democratic response to President Trump's speech last night. She said the first weeks of the Trump administration have brought, quote, reckless approaches to the economy and foreign affairs. During her rebuttal, Senator Slotkin focused on the 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada that were set to start yesterday, reigniting fears of a North American trade war. She also claimed the president is trying to give away, quote, trillions of dollars to pass along to the wealthiest in America. She also took aim at billionaire Elon Musk, who was praised by the president for leading the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, and tasked with shrinking the size of the federal government. She says his department poses a threat to Americans' private data.
Is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts? No oversight, no protections against cyber attack, no guardrails on what they do with your private data.
Senator Slotkin urged Americans not to tune out and asked voters to hold elected officials accountable by going to town halls, organizing, and taking action.
An investigation gets underway this morning in Lansing after police say they believe shots were fired inside a residence just after midnight on the 1000 block of Bennett Street. Police say they received a call about an intoxicated male with a firearm, and once they arrived on scene, they heard shots coming from a residence. No one was taken into custody. But officials say there is no threat to the public and charges are pending.
Meanwhile, police in DeWitt need your help solving an identity theft case. It happened last Tuesday. Take a close look at your screen. The police department released these photos of a man who's wanted for questioning in a case regarding credit card fraud. Now, the department did not identify him as a suspect, just said officers want to speak with him. If you know anything that could help solve this case, call the department at the number on your screen.
Soldiers assigned to the Michigan Army National Guard in Grayling are now being deployed to the Middle East as part of Operation Spartan Shield. 6 News has learned during this upcoming mission, they'll help identify, disarm, and dispose of explosive devices and train militaries from partner nations. Officials say this will not only protect the people and militaries of those countries, but it'll help make sure U.S. soldiers can safely operate in that region. The Michigan National Guardsmen and Guardswomen will be deployed for up to a year.
The 2 ferry companies that take thousands of people to and from Mackinac Island each year now are suing the island's city council. Sheplers and the Mackinac Island Ferry Company claim the island does not have the authority to freeze the price of both passenger tickets and parking. Our media partners at NLive report the city council voted to do just that during a meeting in December after the ferry companies asked for a $2 bump in ticket prices. They warned that without a fee increase, there could be fewer trips between the mainland and the island. Stay with 6 News for updates.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The Capitol camera is still shaking this morning, and if you watch it for too long, you might get a little seasick. We're going to be seeing something similar tomorrow morning, though with the chance for a few flurries flying past. Way too warm for that right now. 48 degrees in Lansing and seeing 49 in St. John's as well as Adrian. But it's cold water that got to 50 degrees first. It's going to continue to warm up into the 50s for the rest of us later on this morning. The wind still is around 15 to 25 miles an hour in many spots, gusting even higher than that, seeing gusts around 30 to 35 miles an hour across the region. Now that's with the chance for rain. We have rain showers scattered again this morning, with additional chances for rain following up behind it later on today. All of that considered, I think Daisy May made the right choice, staying inside wrapped up in a blanket that's with a red paw from sunup to sundown and even beyond it. With the wind, temperatures in the 50s, rain, and this low pressure center, it's just gonna feel gross. It just happens that way. And if you have any old sports injuries or injuries of any kind that involve your joints, you're gonna feel that today. It's one of those problems with these large systems is they have low pressure, and that just alleviates the air pressure on your body, and it's kind of like going from a hug to nothing. It's like, oh.
That is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to describe
all day today then.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Oh. All day, every day.
Nick, she's got shoulder problems.
It's delightful.
Oh, were you here? Not, I guess you weren't.
I wasn't here yet, but I know all about it. I know it's been quite a rough go for
letting me forecast a little bit better because I'm just like, oh, hey, there's a storm.
Oh, there's a storm coming.
That's hilarious.
I thought I broke my foot in the shower the other day, but it was just a cramp. So
okay, that's
my problems are very minor compared to that. Coming up, Lansing